Competing, be it for fun or for money, has been a part of human existence for as long as society as we know it has been a part of human existence. Many great people have competed for the entertainment of the masses over the years. People like Ian Happ, Mike Tyson, Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, Cody Rhodes, O.J. Simpson, twice. I'm just kidding. Wrestling's fake. Cody Rhodes was never competing for anything. What's similar among all of these people is that none of them got to pay $5.99 to get an unfair leg up on their competition. Which, of course, begs the question, why do I get to? Pay to win in gaming have been a relatively recent development, and conversations on if they're even really fair have been an even more recent development. With the rise of online ranked modes, tournaments for millions and millions of dollars, gaming as a medium generally being taken a little bit more seriously than it has in the past, these conversations have been springing up more and more recently. It can't feel great to be in grand finals of a tournament and you lose because little Timmy paid $5.99 for a character that just wins. I would know. I've been in tournaments before. I've been little Timmy, and I've been on the receiving end of little Timmy's rage. Neither of those feel good. I'm here to talk about some of the more egregious examples of pay to win in gaming, at least the ones that I've experienced. Let's start with the less egregious example of pay to win in gaming, Fortnite. Now, Fortnite isn't pay to win in your traditional sense. You can't pay for better stats, better abilities, better guns, but you can pay for better skins. Certain skins blend into the environment better than other ones, meaning that if you're, say, fighting in a snowy environment, it would be better to wear an all-white skin. Or if you're fighting in a grassy environment, it would be better to wear an all-green skin. Certain skins are also more or less detailed, which means players get better or worse frames per second depending on the level of detail. Less detailed skins provide more frames per second, which means it's easier to hit your shots. Female skins are also ever so slightly smaller, meaning that players are marginally less likely to get shot compared to their male counterparts. This means that hyper-competitive players will go out of their way to purchase smaller, less complicated female skins that blend into the environment, and this actually shows in the data of the most used skins, which is widely disproportionate towards female skins. The only male skins that are even in the top 100 are exceedingly simple or collaboration skins, including Travis Scott, Eminem, or Juice WRLD. Personally, I've always thought that players who do things like this, picking skins based off of their competitive viability, are kind of annoying, both in terms of personality and playing against them. They're very hyper-offensive and talk a lot of shit on the mic, that sort of thing. Not really my crowd. I also think that it sort of takes away from the main reason people play Fortnite, which is to do stupid shit as their favorite characters. I don't care if it gets me killed. I'm going to be Michael Myers doing the surf and bird dance from Family Guy while wearing a Pickle Rick backbling. None of that's made up, by the way. I that's all really something you can do in the game. I don't joke about Fortnite. This is serious business. You know what else is serious business? Zombies. Fortnite had, or I guess still technically has, they don't update it anymore, a paid zombie mode called Save the World. Originally, this game was going to get this big update that was going to make it free to play in around 2019 or so. But many European countries decided to pull the plug on loot boxes. And as a result, Fortnite got cold feet, decided that it wouldn't be worth it if they couldn't make money in Europe, and decided to pull the plug entirely, leaving the game in sort of a sad state of affairs. Now, these loot boxes were by no means necessary. It just got you better heroes, better guns, more materials, that kind of thing. But players frequently traded with one another, much to the chagrin of the loudest 9-year-old you've ever seen.
Tell me when to open the arch, bro.
Yeah.
Tell me when to open it.
Open it right now.
Alright, I'll open the arch. Scary gets in, Scary gets in.
Alright.
Hey, let's go, hey!
Stop!
That's what you get. I'm tired of you. No, that's what you get. That's what you get, bro. That's what you get.
Fortnite pulling the plug was kind of the beginning of the dark age of Save the World. And fittingly enough, while doing research for this video, I found a new game-breaking bug that completely ruins the hero build that I was developing, which is just a sick twist of fate, isn't it? Kinda sounds like this game got what it had coming to it all along. Sports games are particularly terrible with pay-to-win mechanics. MLB The Show, NBA 2K, Madden, college football, FIFA, WWE 2K. All of these require you to pay at least something if you want to do everything that you can, especially with regards to online. MLB The Show, for example, lets you pay for card packs, which you can then use online against other players. Obviously, the more you pay, the more packs you get, which gives you statistically better odds of pulling better cards. NBA 2K, Madden, and FIFA all follow this payment outline, where you pay money for the chance to get cards of players that are actually worth a damn. Standard editions of these games are $70 now, by the way. If you actually want an active player base, you better keep buying them, sucker. College football lets you pay for better players. All of these games functionally let you do that, but college football actually lets you pay money to upgrade your players, which is almost comically scummy. And of course, you can take them online to dunk on players who are poorer than you, because why wouldn't you want to? Out of all of these, though, I would say the least scummy is surprisingly WWE 2K. You have the option to pay money to unlock certain wrestlers, but all of the big names who are currently active in the WWE are all available to players from the start. Even the Universal Champion Cody Rhodes is just unlocked by default, no bullshit necessary, which is a refreshing change of pace. The currency to unlock wrestlers from the shop is also relatively easy to earn. I earned about 200 of the 1,000 necessary to unlock a wrestler in a span of 4 matches, so it takes like 20 matches to earn one wrestler. These matches aren't particularly long either, so I'll allow it. Where I think this game outdoes its competition also is in the fact that it offers DLC as opposed to just dangling a carrot just out of reach to prey on gambling addicts. I'd rather just pony up $6 to get CM Punk as opposed to continually spending $2 in the hopeless pursuit of Shohei Ohtani. I actually did spend $6 on CM Punk, by the way. That's not a joke. I love CM Punk because here's my CM Punk t-shirt. I'm a wrestling fan in Chicago, of course I love CM Punk. Get off my back. I love CM Punk. I'll pay $6 for CM Punk. I have no problem with it. This is the only wrestling shirt I wear in public. I have a Hulk Hogan t-shirt too. I got that one before I knew all the bad stuff about Hulk Hogan. I don't wear that one out in public. I don't want to look like a Hulk Hogan fan. It's kind of people that are not my demographic, brother. We're getting off track.
Why did I move here? I guess it was the weather.
GTA 5 is an extreme example of pay to win, at least the online version. You can pay real money to get cash in the game, meaning that players who spend more money on the game are more likely to have access to some of the incredibly stupid, broken shit they put in this game. Like the $8 million Oppressor Mark II, a bike that flies and shoots missiles. Or the $6 million Deluxo, which is the same thing, but it's a car. Both of these vehicles allow you to effortlessly lock onto other players' vehicles and send a homing missile their way, making them absolute terrors from the sky that actively prevent players from doing missions and earning money that way, making, essentially, a de facto class system in GTA Online. On top of being seemingly made and designed for players to ruin one another's fun, they also just don't fit at all with what GTA is as a franchise. If you think of GTA, it's rather unlikely you think of flying cars shooting missiles at one another. You likely think of something a little bit more grounded than that. These vehicles aren't even the only thing people can spend money on either. Yachts, a $4 million jetpack, an orbital cannon that shoots $500,000 to shoot, military planes, penthouses, an in-game casino where you can gamble the fake money you paid real money for. The game is definitely a lot of fun, but that seems like it shouldn't be allowed. Removing the ability to actually pay for money would fix a lot of the balance issues the game definitely suffers from, with GTA 6 on the horizon and Rockstar making millions of dollars hand over fist for literally no effort. I'm aware that's a fool's errand. That is never going to happen. This is why GTA 6 took so long, by the way. The fact that Rockstar can make millions of dollars for nothing, why would they do anything? They could just let GTA Online make the money for them. Pokemon. The franchise I have the most conflicting opinions on. On the one hand, this game has been a constant in my life with me for as long as I can remember. I'm on the Pokemon esports team for DePaul. I've met so many people that I never would have as a result of our shared love for this franchise. But I have to ask, is it that hard to balance a game properly? I've been a Pokemon fan since I looked like this. And I've been competing in Pokemon since I looked like this. I've seen this franchise grow and change like crazy, and the growth has gone straight to its head. The power creep in this franchise is egregious. Every generation gets stronger Pokemon than the last, to the point where some Pokemon now fill entire niches with no drawbacks. Looking at the analytics of what's being used most right now proves this. 6 of the top 10 Pokemon are from the most recent games. The first Pokemon from the first half of this franchise's life is at number 26 with Pelipper. Pokemon are inarguably getting stronger as the years go on. The worst of these niche-dominating examples is a Pokemon called Urshifu Rapid Strike, which is a physically attacking Water-type Pokemon that makes every other Water-type Pokemon completely irrelevant. In rule sets, also known as regulations, without Urshifu, Water types flourish. Regulation C, for example, had Iron Bundle, Gyarados, Palafin, Dondozo, Azumarill, Tatsugiri, and Rotom Wash, all above 1% usage rate. There are also Pokemon who are only relevant strictly to help or hinder this army of Water types, with Pelipper being added to teams to support Water types with its rain-setting abilities, and Torkoal being added to teams to counter said rain abilities with its Sun abilities, which make Water types weaker. The push and pull of building a team around which Water-type Pokemon a player felt like using made for an incredibly dynamic, ever-changing regulation that was all about creating a team based on what Pokemon counters what other Pokemon, and what Pokemon support those counters, and what Pokemon can support them, etc. But as more Pokemon became legal, paradoxically less Pokemon became relevant, as none of those Water types could do the same damage that Urshifu can. After all, why would you ever add a Pokemon to your team that requires players to take into account counters and relevancy and anything like that when you can just add a Pokemon that hits really, really hard and kills whatever stands in its way? So what makes Urshifu that good? It's decently fast, means that it can move before its opponents more often than not, frequently steamrolling them with its monstrous 130 base attack. Only 32 Pokemon ever have had a higher attack stat than Urshifu does, and many of them feature some sort of drawback like being slow or being weak, meaning that one good hit is often enough to completely topple them. Not Urshifu though. This level there is fast, it's strong, it's moderately defensive. It has a wacky signature move called Surging Strikes. Surging Strikes is a 25 base power move that hits the opponent 3 times, which always causes a critical hit. Critical hits are normally random factors that boost moves power by 1.5 times. And Surging Strikes ignores Protect, the most common vital move in competitive Pokemon. Much of competitive Pokemon revolves around Protect, as players have to predict when their opponents will Protect, when they'll attack, when they're switching, etc. Surging Strikes, however, removes all of that skill and predictive factor, ensuring the attack will land and will do plenty of damage. When adding all of these multipliers onto Surging Strikes, the move has an effective base power of 168.75. Add weather boosts like the previously mentioned rain, item boosts, and other boosts onto Urshifu, and that number can get even higher. Most moves with that power require some sort of risk. Hence the risk of dealing damage to the user, making the user pivot and recharge. Anything, but not certain strikes. The worst part of all of this is that Urshifu is only obtainable if you purchase one of two $30 expansion packs, meaning that competitive Pokemon effectively has a $30 price base on top of numerous other price bases of hard to play, like buying systems, buying online subscriptions, buying the game, etc. That's not even to mention other Pokemon that are locked behind the expansion pack, including Pokemon I like to call the Horses of Doom. So basically just stronger, more defensive, and faster Urshifu, but we both require a whole team of support in order to get them properly. Their stats, when added up, also called a base stat roll, are bested only by Pokemon God. You can imagine these volatile Pokemon are very annoying to play against, and especially they're annoying to play in a team against, as even an optimized team can struggle against these menaces. These Pokemon are incredibly strong threats who are extremely unhealthy for the game as a whole, especially in a tournament with thousands of dollars on the line. Pay to win has no place in a competitive environment. Those are just a few examples of pay to win mechanics in gaming. Many, and most, other big games suffer from pay to win just as much, if not more so, than these games, and it is ridiculous that so many game companies incorporate such morally and competitively bankrupt mechanics. Players owe it to themselves to stop engaging with these mechanics for the good of themselves and for the good of the industry.